Hello, this is English Shorthand channel and the shorthand dictation speed is 100 words per minute, which is very helpful for all types of governmental competitive exam. 5 seconds. Ready, start. If because of the preventive detention bill the people of India do not want us, they can throw us out. It is all very well for certain honorable members to defy us to face another general election. Surely it was not very long ago that we contested the elections. The old Detention Act was very severe and we are now seeking to amend it. During the elections, this particular amendment was discussed and criticized a great deal by members of the opposition. Being the party then in power, we had to justify the measure. Yet the results of the elections are there for all to see. Some honorable members talk glibly about a police state. I put it to them that they think over the matter calmly and find out if there is the remotest justification for using that word. I invite them to compare the structure of our government with that of many others. I do not like criticizing any other country. I do not know what their problems are. It may be that the way they have chosen is right for their country. I shall not judge for them just as we will not let another country judge for us. But when I criticized, I can, however, look around and invite you to compare the governments in Asia and Europe. Let us, for instance, compare our governments with authoritarian regimes. Can the honorable member still maintain that this measure is unduly restrictive in the modern context? Surely, a country which has elected the honorable members opposite to represent some of its constituencies could not possibly be a police state. Some honorable members seem to imply that this bill was directed against a certain group or party. That, I think, is a wrong view to take of the bill we have had in India. Broadly speaking, 4 types of antisocial activities. There has been a great deal of activity with communal purposes. I am only referring to the activities accompanied by violence and not merely to expression of subversive views. Then there is the communist activity, and when I say communist, I am not referring only to the activities of the Communist Party of India as such. It is a loose word which I have used to describe the many groups and parties that are distinct from one another, and I do not know all their names. They breeze in and out of the scenes of travel. They recognize no discipline, not even the discipline of their own party. Thirdly, we have also witnessed various forms of terrorist activities by Jagirdars in our country. Broadly speaking, again, I shall refer to these as Jagirdari activities. The other day, an honorable member opposite referring to the disturbances in Calcutta claimed that it was the sweep of history which had forced the masses into action. Broad masses have been in action before and have brought about big changes for good or for bad. But to see in these incidents in Calcutta or elsewhere the influence of the broad masses in action seems to me not only to be a complete misjudgment of what is happening but also a complete misuse of words. Let us consider the incidents in Calcutta to which my honorable friends referred. Those who were responsible for these incidents justified the use of violence by arguing that certain insurances given by the government of India and the government of West Bengal in regard to food supplies in the state had not been fulfilled. The question of fulfilling the promise did not arise until 6 months later. When these incidents took place, the governments of India and West Bengal had done all that they had undertaken to do until that day. Calcutta had plenty of wheat, not only wheat but also rice. Certain people in Calcutta, however, announced their intention to hold demonstrations on the ground that the government of India had not fulfilled its program. The leaders concerned were certainly for by the Chief Minister of West Bengal. He gave them the facts and the figures and convinced them that there had been no breach of promise. They left satisfied that there was no ground for complaint against either of the governments, yet they all returned in a procession the next day, and there was this trouble. In a city like Calcutta, as honorable member can well imagine, it is very easy for a crowd or 2 to 500 persons to create trouble if they are so inclined. It is to this small unruly crowd that the honorable member referred as the broad masses in action. Speaking of Calcutta, another incident comes to my mind which took place 2 or 3 years ago. Calcutta was then faced with grave and unprecedented problems because of the large influx of displaced persons from East Bengal. A state of semi-terror prevailed in the city and bombs were thrown at policemen and shops. It was at about this time that I went to Calcutta and addressed these broad masses.